You ever have one of those jobs that drains your soul one angry phone call at a time? Where you sit in a cubicle under flickering fluorescent lights, headset glued to your ear, listening to people scream at you for things you didn't even do. Yeah, that was my life. Until the day I discovered the button. The little gray rectangle that turned every entitled customer's rage into my personal moment of peace and poetic justice. If you've ever wished you could hit karma on someone being rude for no reason, hit that like button. Because today's story is all about surviving a toxic workplace and finding one perfect, delicious way to fight back. So grab a drink, get comfy, this one's sweet. When I tell you that my old job at a major satellite provider was soul-crushing, I'm not exaggerating. Imagine a windowless room filled with a faint buzz of broken dreams and fluorescent lights that made everyone look half dead. Every desk was identical, gray, cluttered, and sticky from the last person's energy drink. And every person had that same defeated look, eyes glazed, posture slumped, headset dangling like a leash. They told us, "We're like a family here. A family that eats its young." The turnover rate was 60% in the first year. 60%. If you survived longer than 6 months, people called you a lifer, like you'd been sentenced instead of hired. Now most customers were fine. Confused, maybe a little cranky, but understandable. But then, there were them. The entitleds. The ones who treated every customer service rep like a punching bag wrapped in cheap plastic. One day I got a call that started like a gunshot. "Your crappy, useless service is out again. I'm paying too much for garbage and I want answers right now." I gave my scripted smile, even though no one could see it. "Thanks for calling company POS. XYZ. This is operator 123. How can I help you today?" The man on the other end practically spat into the phone. "You can help me by doing your damn job. The TV's black, the bill's too high, and your company's garbage." Inside, I felt that familiar mix of dread and fury bubbling up. You know the feeling, you're polite, professional, holding it together, while someone screams about things completely out of your control. My heart would start pounding. My shoulders would tense. And I'd feel that deep, quiet voice whisper, "Why am I letting this stranger talk to me like this?" It was maybe 3 months into the job when I found it, the button. It didn't look like much. Just a small, gray rectangle tucked into the corner of my call software. Labeled, innocently enough, "Return to queue." First, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was a normal function for transferring calls. But one slow afternoon, curiosity got the better of me. So I asked one of the veterans, an old-timer named Greg who'd been there since dial-up days. He smirked like a man who'd seen too much. "That button," he said, "puts the caller right back in the waiting line. Like they never talked to anyone." My jaw dropped. "Wait, so, if I press it?" "Yup," he said, sipping his coffee. "They go right back to square one. Like hitting life's reset button for jerks." It was like I'd just been handed a loaded weapon. Not one that kills, but one that restores balance. Few weeks later I had my moment. It was a Tuesday. Rain hammering against the windows. The whole office heavy with that midweek despair. And then ding, a new call. The name flashed on my screen, and before I could even say hello, the voice exploded through my headset. "Took you long enough. I've been waiting 20 minutes for some idiot to fix this mess. My time is money, do you hear me? Money." His tone was dripping with contempt, like I was some subhuman creature beneath his notice. Took a breath. "Of course, sir. Let me just take a look at your account." "No. Don't you put me on hold. You people always do that. Just fix it." That's when something inside me snapped. Not loudly, but cleanly, like a thread pulled too tight. All the bottled up stress, the humiliation, the exhaustion, it all narrowed into one single delicious thought. "Let's see how much you enjoy the queue, big man." So I smiled, and in my calmest, sweetest voice said, "Absolutely, sir. I'll take care of that right away. Let me just put you on the briefest of holds while I review your account." And with one gentle click, pressed the button. Instantly, the line filled with that awful elevator jazz, tinny and repetitive, looping like a bad dream. Then came the robotic voice we all knew too well. "Thank you for calling Company XYZ. Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order it was received." And just like that, he was gone. My line. Back in the endless waiting room of customer service purgatory. I sat there staring at my monitor, half shocked by what I'd just done. And then slowly I started to laugh. It started as a snort, then turned into full-blown giggles I had to smother behind my hand. I pictured him sitting there, fuming, veins popping out of his forehead, realizing he'd just been reset. And for once, I wasn't the powerless one. I was the one with the button. After that day, the button became my little secret weapon. I didn't abuse it. I wasn't out to hurt anyone who didn't deserve it. But when someone came in swinging, when they made it personal, cruel, or just plain demeaning, that's when justice got served, one hold at a time. Every time I hit that button, I imagined I was restoring a tiny bit of humanity to the job. It wasn't much. But in a world where the people at the bottom take all the hits, even a small victory feels like a revolution. Sometimes I'd see a coworker, red-faced and shaking after a call, and I'd just lean over and whisper, "You know about the button, right?" Their eyes would light up like I'd handed them a key to freedom. And in a way I had. Years later I left that job. I found something better, somewhere people actually treat each other like human beings. But every now and then, when I hear that faint strain of hold music in a store or an office, I can't help but grin. Because I remember all those angry voices. And the sweet silence that came after the click. Here's the thing. The person on the other end of your angry rant, they don't control the company. They don't control your bill or your service outage. But they do control the queue. So next time you're tempted to yell at someone just trying to help, remember, they might just have a button too. It's funny, isn't it? How a little bit of respect can change an entire interaction. And how a lack of it might just earn you a permanent spot in the queue of karma. If that revenge hit your soul the way it hit mine, smash that like button and tell me in the comments. What's the worst customer interaction you've ever had? And don't forget to subscribe for more stories where karma hits just right. Because sometimes, justice doesn't need a courtroom, just needs a button.